especially Industry 4.0 manufacturing, I think women are becoming more and more part of this journey. And that's a transformation that we have seen. The third point I'd like to add is, yes, you're right, access to technology, access to data. And that is a big differentiator. So as a state, what we have now done is we have laid fiber network to home. This is BharatNet on steroids. So it's 15 Mbps of data, 250 channels and free telephony. All this for under $2. And we have done this to every house and on an Android TV box. So this opens up new opportunities to offer services to the citizens. So I think this is where the state can actually be a force multiplier and definitely integrate our citizens into this journey rather than leaving it just to the private sector to lead the Industry 4.0.
Thank you very much, Minister Lokesh. I think clearly the state of Andhra Pradesh has been a leader in many ways in making technology an integral part of its state policy. So I'll come back to you on some of the points after we have heard from other speakers in the interest of time.
పూర్తి వివరాలు చూసే ముందు మా ఛానల్ ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయడం మర్చిపోకండి. అలాగే ఆ పక్కనే ఉన్న గంట సింబల్ ని క్లిక్ చేయడం మర్చిపోవద్దు.
I think one single country can come out with a solution for the world. We were in Singapore and met Minister Iswaran at that point of time, and the same point I made over there. How can countries now partner together on ensuring data protection, data security, cyber security? And the problems are going to be huge. The investments required will be phenomenal. But also when I look at equitable globalization from the India viewpoint, we have to make huge investment and significant investments in education, in skilling, in healthcare, urbanization. Prime Minister Modi launched the Ayushman Bharat, which is the largest healthcare scheme for about 500 million people. But for that to deliver that, this 4.0 technology is absolutely required to stitch the back end, to ensure that the beneficiaries get what they are wanting, to ensure that the data is available to the medical fraternity, what all needs to be done. And I'm sure once data is there, I mean, all of us know in the industry, that's like gold. I mean, you can come out with multifarious business models. Having said that, when we talk about India, the solutions have to be India-centric. We just cannot cut-paste the Western solutions and bring it to India. Because we need to understand, while there are large enterprises, there are large medium-scale enterprises who can afford to invest in technologies. There's a large base of population which needs the basics in a simplified way at the most cost-effective solution. Just think of a small businessman today who cannot invest into SAPs and the oracles of the world, but can use cloud for supply chain management, can use cloud for sharing data. Now, those are the things which India requires, and that's where I believe equitable implementation will ensure that we also look at equitable globalization. And by any chance, I'm not saying that all these solutions will come from within India. And this is where partnerships are going to be extremely important. And other thing which I keep harping with my friends from overseas, country after country, look at the scale of India. I mean, telecom today at less than $2. You for the month you call, 1 GB data every day is available. I mean, you can't even consume that, but it is available. And by the way, at the month end, it gets carried over. It doesn't sort of vanish in the cloud or thin air. Aadhaar cards, which is the unique identity program, 1.2 billion cards, identity cards have been issued. If I look at ordinary bank accounts which were opened under the Prime Minister's scheme, 350 million debit cards have been issued. I mean, look at the entire landscape which India is moving towards more digitization, more online, more, I would say, transaction which will happen online. So clearly, relevant solutions for India, partnerships with multifarious countries. And I know, I mean, Singapore has done exceedingly well on cybersecurity. I'm aware of that. Why do we need to?
So I think that is where, as a state, we see a fine balance between welfare and development. We believe that targeted welfare, so that's very, very important. Targeted welfare can actually bring people out of the cycle of poverty. So historically, welfare has been abused politically. But in the state of Andhra Pradesh, thanks to technology, we're ensuring that welfare actually reaches the true beneficiary. And only then can you pull them out of poverty. And this has really worked in the state. If you take even agriculture alone, we have close to doubled farm income in the last 4.5 years, which has been a dream of India, and Andhra Pradesh got it done. So I think this is where we really need to work. We need to be very clear on what we need to deliver as a state and really ensure that the handout reaches it. And it's not just a handout and we forget. It's about how do you pull them out of that cycle. So I'll give you one example. We have this program where we're giving an unemployment benefit scheme to the youth of Andhra Pradesh. So it's very easy, I give them a monthly 1,000 rupee and I'm done. No. That's just the beginning. So what we're now doing is we're working with the private sector. We're sort of understanding what is the skill gap. Why are 500,000 youth in the state not employed? Where is the gap here? So we're taking this into our system. In some cases, the private sector is actually leading the training initiative, part funded even by the state. So I think this is where I believe that active engagement from the state will play a very, very important role. I think Davos is a great opportunity for us to explain the Andhra model. But also I should thank the Honorable Minister from Singapore for supporting Andhra Pradesh. Because we're working very closely. And I think this is an example where partnership between an emerging economy and a developed economy together can really bring about transformational change. So what we have set out to achieve is what India has not accomplished since independence, which is to truly build a greenfield smart city. We're doing that. And yes, as a state, I think we're busy doing our work, and I believe that stories will catch up. It's just a matter of time, and I'm sure partners here from the CIA will actually help us. We actually discussed this morning that we need to document the work that's actually going in to do this amazing work. But I think it's an ongoing challenge. This is where we've seen amazing transformation. You'll be surprised in the Foxconn facility in Andhra Pradesh, 18,000 women work in 3 shifts. Close to 90% of the workforce in Foxconn India is women. And I was in this session, for me it was truly, your session, 1,500 women, and we were just interacting. And people from different part of the state were there. So I think definitely manufacturing in the context of Industry 4.0 is really helping us bridge the gap. But it's also a function of labor reforms. And as a state, we're the first state to actually bring the reform where women can work across 3 shifts. The safety of women is guaranteed by the state. Of course, Andhra Pradesh is a very safe state. So given that with this reform, Brandix, which manufactures products for Victoria's Secret, is now employing close to 27,000 women in the northern part of Andhra Pradesh. So I think these are great examples, and I'm sure in India there are very few. But I think this is just the beginning. Definitely I do believe women are more disciplined than men. So no second thoughts about that. And Industry 4.0, I think they'll play a very, very important role. And as a state, we're very conscious about this. And women empowerment starts at home. So, and our Chief Minister knows that. So we are very conscious.
While Make in India has bolstered the nation's indigenous manufacturing capability and purged it on the path of Industry 4.0, Power for All, with an emphasis on solar energy, has helped millions of citizens illuminate their homes and transform their lives. Digital India initiatives have provided the framework to continuously evolve and improve the governance for all citizens.